So tonight we're going to hear from the ASA about their music education program that goes out into this beautiful city of ours and teaches children about the Great American Songbook. We're going to present the first ever Bill Sensenbrenner Dreammaker Award tonight. And we're going to pay tribute to the illustrious career of the legendary Stephen Schwartz. So, without further ado, it is my honor to introduce to you the person who's going to present the first ever Bill Sensenbrenner Dreammaker Award. This gentleman is the president of the American Songbook Association, among many other things which he will tell you about. Please welcome Michael Roberts.
This is very heavy. I'm Michael Roberts. I'm president of the American Songbook Association. I'm also Michael Roberts, the music director for this evening. If we had valet parking, I'd probably be doing that as well. But I would do it gladly, as I would do gladly anything that the American Songbook Association would ask me to do, this vital and important organization. I'm here right now to present the Bill Sensenbrenner Dreammaker Award. No one has committed more to the ASA than Bill, and no one has been more responsible for making our organization strong and respected. Bill was a passionate force for our education program, our chief rainmaker, and the wind beneath the wings of our beloved editor of cabaret scenes and ASA treasurer, Frank Dane. Bill Sensenbrenner, more than anything, was a person who created opportunity. And more specifically, he created opportunity to promote success. The same can easily be said of tonight's recipient, James Brent White. James' career has consistently centered on one guiding theme: to provide opportunity to those who most often are not given opportunity. James is a human capital management executive, having brought his leadership to Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, Credit Suisse, and other leading financial institutions. He has fought relentlessly for minorities, women, and those in the LGBTQ community, bringing them into career positions throughout the financial industries. He goes far beyond his work bringing rightful change to the corporate world. His commitment to making opportunity for success is perhaps best reflected in his work for nonprofits. He has served as the president of the board of Amos Musical Theater, the YWCA Impact Investing Advisory Council, and has recently been lending his formidable expertise to us here at the ASA, and for that we are very, very grateful. Finally, James has created opportunity as a producer of commercial theater, including my most recent off-Broadway musical, Goldstein. Unfortunately, James, because we decided to open Goldstein right before the pandemic, we're going to have to consider this not-for-profit as well. For now. James White continues to create opportunities for success, and by doing so, he makes the city and the people in it better. I am honored to present the Bill Sensenbrenner Dreammaker Award to Mr. James Brent White.
You know, the great thing about all of the correspondence the last few weeks is that I had so many people come to me to say, well, I can't make it, but what's the ASA? Tell me more about that. I think I know about it. And that really is the thing that I am most grateful for, because these opportunities, whereas I enjoy being recognized by the board of directors, and I'm so grateful for that, I'm even more grateful for the opportunity that tonight brings, not only tonight, but in the days, weeks, and months to come, to promote the ASA, to talk about giving service to each other, and in celebrating those nonprofit leaders in our communities. There is never enough time to volunteer. It takes work. It takes, it's not convenient at all. It takes, many of you know this, it's not, it takes patience. It takes commitment, it takes dedication and sacrifice. But all of us in this room, we are so privileged, and we have so many unique gifts and talents to offer our communities through our nonprofit partners. Corporate networks, donations, professional skills, direct service volunteering, promoting our organizations, making strategic introductions, and helping to create sustainable pipelines of resources and supporters. This is something we all have the power within us to do on some level when we make that choice. I think we can all agree that now is a particularly challenging time in our world's history, when I often feel saddened, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way, overwhelmed, frightened, and concerned about our future. And I then get even more concerned about the impact of these times on our youth. When I see the human spirit at play, engaged, the corporate community, individuals, the nonprofit sector, when I see them working together to solve problems, when I see the ASA working to help youth in our community feel seen and heard, to feel connected through the American Songbook, I am energized, and yes, I am also hopeful. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of man, a city of man.
She is the Executive Director of the American Songbook Association. Please welcome Carolyn Montgomery.
It's really great to see your faces, or half of your faces here tonight. I'm going to be brief because I know what we really want to do is relax and listen to the incredible music of Stephen Schwartz, but I would like to tell you briefly about what your generosity is doing for marginalized communities in New York City. I've been the executive director of the ASA for 5 months, and I knew when I took the position that a leader is only as good as the team she gathers around her. And I'm right. I'd like you to meet my team, and I'd like you to hold your applause. I'm going to introduce them fast, and I'd like them to stand up. I'm sorry, guys, but that's what I want. We have Michael Roberts, who is our president, valet parking attendant, and also the musical director. Please do not clap. Hold your applause, please. We have Ann Kittredge, who is the vice president of the executive board and the Gallic liaison to the board. We also have Frank Dane, who is the editor-in-chief of Cabaret Scenes magazine and the treasurer of our executive board, and Robin Westall, who is the secretary of our executive board. We have, Norm Drubner could not be here this evening in our board of directors. We also have Keith Meritz and Craig Pomerantz. And I'd also like to introduce Wendy Sherrill, our gala committee chair. Together, this team has raised $144,000 in 5 months. So you all know that the economic disparities in this country make it so that the very tiny number of students have the most opportunities. We would really like to level that playing field, and I know it's hard, but we have to try. And in the very, very near future, there are going to be ASA education programs. We are not teaching kids to be performers. We're teaching them to be thinkers and public speakers, to know about their opportunities, and we're using jazz musical theater and the American Songbook as a teaching tool, and it works. So I just want you to know that there will be ASA Chicago, ASA LA, and also in a gala in the very near future, there are going to be a bunch of young adults standing on this stage giving testimony to how the ASA changed their lives for good. Stephen, I just want to say to Stephen Schwartz that the board joins me in saying that we know that you honor us by permitting us to honor you. And we are incredibly grateful, and we hope your good health and joy are equal to your generosity and your brilliance. Thank you.
We've got magic to do just for you. We've got miracle plays to play. We've got parts to perform, hearts to warm, kings and things to take by storm. As we go along, we've got magic to do, magic to do, just for you. Magic, we've got magic to do, magic to play, just for you. We've got foibles and fables to portray as we go along.
In a different key, and you see with new eyes, and the faces you see are people you don't know at all. And there's someone who touches your hair every day, touches you now in a different way, and you may want to run, or you may want to stay forever. And since life is the sound of the sheep, and the taste of the stew, and the way that you feel when he touches you, now your whole life is different. Now your whole life is new. chaque jour en ton jour, comme les autres du jour. Le potage, l'ouvrage, peut-être l'amour. Le soleil, il voyage, le monde fait ton tour. Ainsi c'est toujours la même.
And I'm thinking, oh, proud lady, I'm so glad to know it soon will be the day. We will go to a spot where the grass is cool and shady, and like it or not, you'll take me in your arms, and I will have my way. Next time I go to get the bread, I know exactly what to wear. My pants are tight, my shirt is red and open just enough to show a little hair. And when the bag is full and warm, the way I lift it, she can tell that any action I perform, I do it strong, I do it slow, I do it well. She asks me, can I hurry up? And when I wink, she gives a smile in her voice as sweet as wine. She tells me I'm a swine. She's obviously mine. And I'm singing, oh, proud lady, I'm so glad to know it soon will be the day. And we'll go to the spot where the grass is cool and shady, and like it or not, you'll take me in your arms, and I will have my way. I'm in love, I'm in love again. I'm in love, and isn't it a crime? Isn't it a crying shame that the love of my life should have to be another man's wife? But I finally found the one true love of my life. For the 23rd time.
And my dad was waiting for us at his favorite watering hole, which was Toots Shor's. So we go over to Toots Shor's, we sit down to have dinner with my dad. My father said, are you an actor too? And Stephen said, no, I'm a composer. And I'm going to have 3 shows running on Broadway at the same time. Now, he didn't say it in an egotistical or obnoxious way. He meant it from the heart. It's something he knew. And on June 22nd, 1976, with the opening of Godspell at the Broadhurst, that prediction came true. It joined Pippin and the Magic Show. You had 3 shows running on Broadway at the same time. You have written the music of our lives. You found your corner of the sky and you filled it with music. And you let that music fall upon us like gentle drops of pure joy. Stephen, your life is more than long. And as Mrs. Bryce said to Fanny, honey, now you belong to the ages. Thank you very much.
Children of the wind, longing to be one, half a world away, we will make our way. Great ships and
sends me every year a beautiful acknowledgement of our friendship. So this year, I sent him an email back, and I would like to share it with you now. I hope you have a beautiful evening. I'm sure it will be, and lots of love to you all. This is what I wrote. Dear pal, I've been thinking about the ripple effect that started when you came into my life. It's actually scary to imagine where I would be if I had not met you. Thank you for always being there with wise counsel and a sympathetic ear. Thank you for believing in my work and for supporting it so enthusiastically. Thank you for being totally goofy and silly and brilliant and generous and kind always, and for telling me what I need to hear, even if I may not want to hear it. If best possible friend were in the dictionary, the photo next to it would be yours. Happy 35th, lots and lots of love, John.
But I am bound to walk among the wounded and the slain. And when the storm comes crashing on the plain, I will dance before the lightning to music sacred and profane. Oh, shed no tears for me, light no candle for my sake. This journey I'll be making now is one we all must make. Shoulder to the wind, I'll turn my face into the spray. And when the heavens open, let the drops fall where they may. If they finally wash away the stain from a daughter of the race of Cain. Not a stranger to the rain. Let it
Oh yeah. He pardons all thy sins, prolongs thy feeble breath. He healeth thine infirmities and ransom thee from death. Oh yeah. He clothes thee with his love, upholds thee with his truth, and like the eagle he renews the vigor of thy youth. Then bless his holy name, whose grace has made thee whole, whose loving kindness crowns thy days. Oh, bless the Lord, my soul. Oh, bless the Lord, my soul. Oh, bless the Lord. Oh, bless the Lord, my soul, my soul. Oh, bless the Lord, 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 my... Here we go. Oh, bless the Lord, my soul. Bless the Lord, my soul. often tell Stephen when I see him, I wish I was a bug on the wall or fly on the wall to hear when the angels come through you and you deliver such a litany of words and music. How blessed are we to be recipient of an angel of God. How blessed are we? And for us, we, the American people, to be able to say that our songster, our lyricist, our composer is a man called Stephen Schwartz, and we are blessed to have him in our time. Whoa. People, honor, yes. Praise, yes. Bow down, yes. Stephen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank all of you who are here tonight to support ASA. Because of their work, other children like Ben Vereen, who was in the streets of Brooklyn, New York as a kid, will have an opportunity to turn their life around for good. And because Stephen said, you can honor me, we're honoring a legacy that will come. It's because of you. So thank you.
There can be miracles when you believe. The hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. Somehow you will. Now you will.
Till I die. Now I've known the fears of 66 years. I've had troubles and tears by the score. But the only thing I trade them for is 67 more. Everybody, oh, it's time to start living. Time to take a little from the world we're given. Time to take time. The spring will turn to fall. And watching your flames be flung all over makes me feel young all over in just no time at all.
If I stay, I'll groan and curse the dark.
welcome two-time Tony Award winner, Rupert Holmes.
Throughout his far-ranging career, Stephen has continually awakened us to new ways of looking at life's supposed winners and noble outcasts. Consider as brilliant The Baker's Wife, which has gone in my lifetime from an underground classic to a treasured gem. His most egalitarian conception, Working, for which he served as director, book writer, lyricist, composer. It's amazing he wasn't an usher at the show. The heartrending Rags, more relevant than ever. The musical, The Mystical Children of Eden, and of course, the landmark Wicked, which in addition to being one of the great musicals of all time, has served as a rite of passage for all the green young people in need of affirmation that they can defy the gravity of their situation. And as if that weren't enough, Stephen has created the most humane and uplifting lyrics of all the Disney musicals that resound about the world. While his score for Prince of Egypt seems to become more powerful with each new iteration. And as a public service, I would remind you that there are now only 664 shopping days until the movie Wicked 1. Why is it that his creations are so constantly and successfully revived, or more appropriately put, rediscovered by audiences new and old, both here and around the world? Because they are not stapled to a time or a trend, but true to the hopes of the human heart. I expect his characters, their aspirations, and their failings will be as meaningful to generations ahead as Shakespeare's are to us today. It's said that those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. And those who can do and can also teach are Stephen Schwartz. And it's only fitting that among his myriad Oscars, Grammys, Drama Desks, and the Golden Globe, his Isabel Stevenson Award is a Tony Award for his commitment to serving artists and fostering new talent. I've seen firsthand his brilliant workshops and his generous support to new artists on both sides of the proscenium. In my time, I've gotten to collaborate with such lights as John Kander and Fred Ebb, Charles Strauss and Lee Adams, Marvin Hamlish, Mark Holman. So I have some basis for comparison when I say that to work with Stephen Schwartz is like unexpectedly gaining admission to an Ivy League college, or to Carnegie Mellon, Stephen's alma mater, who presented him with an honorary doctorate just a few years back. He's curious, witty, engaged, gracious, emotive, able to defend his position and willing to be convinced otherwise. Someone who takes his work seriously, but never himself. Some of the most enlightening and entertaining afternoons of my life have been spent playing intellectual hot potato with Stephen, and nothing could be more thrilling in the world than to be an audience of one and the first on the planet to hear Stephen perform a new song. Thank you beyond expression, Stephen, for such memorable hours. For all his astounding output, which I barely touched upon, I think the American Songbook Association this evening is thinking of the songs, Stephen. The songs. Each a gorgeously expressed prism through which we discover a new way of looking at the world and ourselves. And as a souvenir of this experience, we get to take home your melody and lyric, a keepsake in our lives forever. Thank you, Stephen, for sharing your achievements with us in our lifetimes. Your grace and humanity, music and words, and your deep, deep emotions. You have made our lives more rewarding, more meaningful, and more joyful. So it is the very least we can do to gratefully acknowledge both your life and your work, and for our sake, as much as yours, long, 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 may both of them continue. Tonight, the American Songbook Association honors an artist
whose body of work represents the very best in American musical theater and popular song. By example, he provides the highest caliber of leadership for upcoming composers and lyricists, while his music brings inspiration and pleasure to the world. We are proud to bestow this Lifetime Achievement Award upon Stephen Schwartz.
Thank you guys so much. I do want to quickly thank everybody who sang this evening so beautifully. I came without having any knowledge of who was going to do what. I deliberately didn't find out, and I didn't look at the program. So it was really a wonderful experience, a little bit like drowning and watching your life pass before your eyes. I had never actually heard the term American Songbook until a few years ago when it sort of became popular. And it was something that sounded so important and so historic. So to be considered part of that is enormously gratifying and moving to me. As we've been told already, this particular organization, the ASA, is a wonderful organization in terms of the education it does and the outreach to disadvantaged kids. So I was very pleased to be able to be asked to participate in this evening, and obviously enormously honored to receive this lovely and very heavy award. Because I didn't find anything out about this evening, I don't know what is happening next. Okay, there's a group. What's next?
Well, you can either, hi, congratulations.
Hi, thank you.
You can either go sit and watch this last number, or you can go home.
Oh, well then I won't do it.
Okay.
I
All right.
just thought no one was doing that.
No, it's,
Okay. Anyway.
yeah. Stephen Schwartz. We all want to tell you, Stephen, thank you. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return.
Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you.
Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wall. Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be we will never meet again in this lifetime, so
So let me say before I part, so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart.
And now whatever way your story ends, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend.
Like a ship that breaks its mooring by a wind off the sea.
Like a sea that drops a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good.
And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done here. Blame me for.
But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.
Like a comet born from orbit as it passes the sun. Like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the world.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
I do believe I have been changed for the better.
And because I knew you,
Because I